Georgia asphalt. We got a little crazy, but we never got caught. Down by the river on a Friday night, pyramid of cans in the pale moonlight, talking about cars and dreaming about women. Never had a plan, still living for the minute. Yeah, I went down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Never knew how much that muddy water meant to me, but I learned how to swim and I learned who I was. Not about living and a little about love. Chevy. Well, I was willing, she wasn't ready, so I settled for a burger and a great stove home. Dropped her off early, but I didn't go home. Down by the river on a Friday night, pyramid of cans in the pale moonlight, talking about cars and dreaming about women. Never had a plan, still living for the minute. Yeah, I went down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Never knew how much that muddy water meant to me, but I learned how to swim and I learned who I was. Not about living and a little about love. Yeah. Yeah, we're down yonder on the Chattahoochee. It gets hotter than a hoochie coochie. We laid rubber on the Georgia asphalt. We got a little crazy, but we never got caught. Well, I was willing, but she had the hiccup, so I settled for a burger and a grape stove on. Dropped her off early, but I didn't go home. Down by the river on a Friday night, pyramid of cans in the pale moonlight, talking about cars and dreaming about women. Never had a plan, still living for the minute. Yeah, I went down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Never knew how much that muddy water meant to me, but I learned how to swim and I learned who I was. Not about living and a little about love. Not about living and a little about love. Yeah. Back in the hill, lived my old pappy and he had him still. He brewed a white lightning till the sun went down. Then he'd fill him a jug and he'd pass it around. Mighty, mighty pleasing, pappy's corn squeezing. Ooh, white lightning. Well, a team in the revenues too, searching for a place where he made his brew. They were looking, trying to book him, but my pappy kept a cooking. Ooh, white lightning. Well, I asked my old pappy why he called his brew white lightning instead of Mountain Dew. I took a little sip and right away I knew, as my eyes bugged out and my face turned blue. Lightning started flashing, thunder started clashing. Ooh, white lightning. Well, a team in the revenues too, searching for a place where he made his brew. They were looking, trying to book him, but my pappy kept a cooking. White lightning.
He took one slug and he drank it on down, and I heard him a moaning as he hit the ground. Mighty, mighty please, and your back is corn squeezing. Ooh, what lightning. Well, Jimmy and the revenue's teeth, searching for a place where he made his proof. They were looking, trying to book him, but my pappy kept a cooking. What lightning.
We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. I'm going to Jackson, I'm gonna mess around. Yeah, I'm going to Jackson. Look out, Jackson town.
We're going down to Jackson. Yeah, go ahead and wreck yourself. Go play your hand, you be talking and make a big fool of yourself. Yeah, go Jackson. Go comb your hair.
Oh, honey, I'm gonna snowball Jackson. When I breeze into that city, people gonna scrape and bow. All them women gonna make me teach them what they don't know how. I'm going to Jackson. You turn loose in my coat. Yeah, I'm going to Jackson.
But it's all
Put it right on, titty wings.
You and Jackson, I've racing on a 40K. Gonna lead you around town like a scalded hound with your tail tucked between your legs. Yeah, go Jackson. You big talking man. You big talking man. But I'll be waiting in Jackson behind my jet van.
Yeah, now we got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. I'm going to Jackson, and that's a fact. Yeah, we're going to Jackson. They never coming back. Honey, we got married in a fever.
The West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl. Nighttime would find me in Rosa's Cantina. Music would play and Polina would whirl. Blacker than night were the eyes of Polina, wicked and evil while casting a spell. My love was deep for this Mexican maid. I was in love, but in vain I could tell. One night a wild young cowboy came in, wild as the West Texas wind. Dashing and daring to drink, he was sharing with wicked Polina, the girl that I love. So in anger I challenged his rightful love of this maiden. Down went his hand for the gun that he wore. My challenge was answered in less than a heartbeat. The handsome young stranger lay dead on the floor. Just for a moment I stood there in silence, shocked for the foul evil deed I had done. Many thoughts raced through my mind as I stood there. I had but one chance and that was to run. Out through the back door of Roses I ran, out where the horses were tied. I around me, kissing my cheek as she kneels by my side. Cradled by two loving arms that I'll die for, one little kiss and Felia, goodbye.
There goes my only possession. There goes my everything. I hear footsteps slowly walking as they gently walk across a lonely floor, and a voice is softly saying, darling, this will be goodbye forevermore. There goes my reason for living. There goes the one of my dreams. There goes my only possession. There goes my everything. As my memory turns back the pages, I can see the happy years we had before. How the love that kept this old heart beating has been shattered by the closing of a door. There goes my reason for living. There goes the one of my dreams. There goes my only possession. There goes my everything. Thank you.
Remember when I was young, so were you. The time stood still. Love was all we knew. You were the first, so was I. Made love and then you cried. Remember when? Remember when we vowed the vows and walked the walk, gave our hearts, made the start, and it was hard. We lived and learned life through curves. There was joy, there was hurt. Remember when? Remember when old ones died and new were born, and life was changed, disassembled, rearranged. We came together, fell apart, and broke each other's hearts. Remember when? Oh, play that steel guitar, we'll make it right. The sound of little feet was amusing. He danced to week, brought back the love. We found trust, vowed we'd never give it up. Remember when? Remember when? 30 seems so old now, looking back. It's just a stepping stone to where we are, where we've been. Said we'd do it all again. Remember when? Remember when? Said when we turned gray, when the children grow up and move away, we won't be sad, we'll be glad for all the life we've had. And we'll remember when. Remember when. Remember when.
This is Buck. You gotta do this one, man. You gotta do this one. What are they gonna do when they retire?
They're gonna put me in the movies. Well, now they're gonna make a big star out of me. And we'll make a scene about a man that's sad and lonely. That's me. And all I gotta do is act naturally. Well, I'll bet you I'm gonna be a big star. I might win an Oscar, you can't never tell. The movies are gonna make me a big star, 'cause I can play the part so well. Well, I hope you'll come to see me in my movie. Then I know that you're gonna plainly see, yeah, the biggest fool that's ever hit the big time. And all I gotta do is act naturally. All right, dog. Well, we'll make a scene about a man that's sad and lonely. What's that? And I'm begging down upon his bended knees. Yeah, and I'll play the part, but I won't need rehearsing. All I gotta do is act naturally. Well, I'll bet you I'm gonna be a big star. I might win an Oscar, you can't
heart go on beating? Why do these eyes of mine cry? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye. Why does my heart go on beating? Why do these eyes of mine cry? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye.
Crazy, I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy, crazy for feeling so blue. I knew you'd love me as long as you wanted, and then someday you'd leave me for somebody new. Worry, why do I let myself worry? Wondering what in the world did I do? Oh, crazy for thinking that my love could hold you. I'm crazy for trying and crazy for crying, and I'm crazy for loving you. Crazy for thinking that my love could hold you. I'm crazy for crying and crazy for trying, and I'm crazy for loving you.
No matter what you do or say, she's always got to have her way. She'll bring you down just to cheer you up. You never know with a woman in love. The minute you start holding on, you'll turn around and she'll be gone. This is very unpredictable stuff. You never know with a woman in love. She's a lady, she's a child. She'll make you crazy, she'll drive you wild. Do you give in or do you just give up? You never know with a woman in love. You never know with a woman in love. I ought to know 'cause I've held a few, and I've seen the things that a woman can do. She'll play the game till you call her bluff. Oh, you never know with a woman in love. That's right. Just when you think you've got it all together, if you blink, she'll change to So this is the Branson Jam. Is that what this is? Yeah. Well, we got a great crowd here. Once in every life, someone comes along and you came to me. It was almost like a song. You were in my arms, right where you belong, and we were so in love. Girl, it was almost like a song. January through December, we had such a perfect year. Then the flame became a dying ember. All at once, you weren't here. Now my broken heart cries for you each night. It's almost like a song.
Time I rise me, spinning inside me is almost more than I can take. Baby, when you touch me, I can feel how much you love me, and it just blows me away. I've never been this close to anyone or anything. I can hear your thoughts, I can see your dreams. I don't know how you do what you do. I'm so in love with you, it just keeps getting better. I want to spend the rest of my life with you by my side, forever and ever. Every little thing that you do, baby, I'm amazed by you. The smell of your skin, the taste of your kiss, the way you whisper in the dark, your hair all around me, baby, you surround me, touch every place in my heart. Oh, it feels like the first time, every time. I wanna spend the whole night in your eyes. I'm so in love with you, it just keeps getting better. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you by my side, forever and ever. Every little thing that you do, baby, I'm amazed by you. Every little thing that you do, I'm so in love with you, it just keeps getting better. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you by my side, forever and ever. Every little thing that you do, oh, every little thing that you do, baby, I'm amazed by you.
To work, work, all week long, punching that clock dust till dawn. Count the day to Friday night, that's when all the conditions are right for a good time. Yeah, I need a good time. Well, I've been working all week and I'm tired, I don't want to sleep. I want to have fun, time for a good time. We're digging the ground, beer on ice, just like old Hank taught us about. Singing along, both see the songs, rowdy friends all night long. Good time. Yeah, we're having a good time. Well, I've been working all week and I'm tired, I don't want to sleep. I want to have fun, it's time for a good time. I'll pick a little good time in. The heel-toe, do-si-do, scoot my boots, swinging doors, B&D, kicks and done, honky-tonk heaven, double shotgun, good time. Lord, we're having a good time. I've been working all week and I'm tired, I don't want to sleep, I want to have fun, it's time for a good time. Oh, turn it up. Shot of tequila, beer on tap, sweet southern woman, sit on my lap. G with an O, O with a D, T with an I, to M and a E, and a good time. Good time. Lord, I've been working all week and I'm tired, I don't want to sleep, I want to have fun, time for a good time. Yeah. A shot of tequila, the beer on tap, a sweet southern woman to sit on my lap. The G with an O with a D, country music on CMT. We're having a good time. Woo! Good time. Lord, I've been working all week and I'm tired, I don't want to sleep, I want to have fun, time for a good time. Yeah, I've been working all week and I'm tired, I don't want to sleep, I want to have fun, time for a good time. Yeah, Lord, I've been working all week and I'm tired, I don't want to sleep, I want to have fun, time for a good time. Yeah, I need a good time. Yeah, we all need a good time. Everybody needs a little good time.
Everybody's going out and having fun.
just a fool but stayed home having none. Can't get over how she's setting me free. Oh, lonesome me. A bad mistake I'm making by just hanging around. I know that I should have some fun, paint the town. A lovesick fool is blind and just can't see. Oh, lonesome me. I'll bet she's not like me. She's out and fancy free. She can flirting with the boys with all her charm. I still love her so, and brother, don't you know, I'd welcome her right back here in my arms. Well, there must be some way I can lose these lonesome blues. Forget about the past and find me somebody new. Thought of everything there to see. Oh, lonesome me. Wait now.
Hurry-up-up-up. Hurry-up-up-up.
I'll bet she's not like me. She's out and fancy free. She's a flirting with the boys with all her charm. I still love her so, and brother, don't you know, I'd welcome her right back here in my arms. There must be some way I can lose these lonesome blues. Forget about the past and find me somebody new. Thought of everything there to see. Oh, lonesome me. Oh, lonesome me. Oh, lonesome me.
See the tree, how big it's grown, but friend, it hasn't been too long. It wasn't big. I laughed at her and she got mad. The first day that she planted it was just a twig. Then the first snow came and she ran out to brush the snow away so it wouldn't die. Came running in all excited, slipped and almost hurt herself, and I laughed till I cried. She was always young at heart, kinda dumb and kinda smart, and I loved her so. And I surprised her with a puppy, kept me up all Christmas Eve 2 years ago. And it would sure embarrass her when I came in from working late, 'cause I would know that she'd been sitting there and crying over some sad and silly late show. And honey, I miss you, and I'm being good, and I'd love to be with you if only I could. She wrecked the car and she was sad and so afraid that I'd be mad, but what the heck? Though I pretended hard to be, guess you could say she saw through me and hugged my neck. I came home unexpectedly and caught her crying needlessly in the middle of the day. And it was in the early spring when flowers bloom and robins sing, she went away. And honey, I miss you, and I'm being good, and I'd love to be with you if only I could.
One day while I was not at home, while she was there and all alone, the angels came. Now all I have are memories of honey, and I wake up nights and call her name. Now my life's an empty stage where honey lived and honey played, and love grew up. And a small cloud passes overhead and cries down the flower bed that honey loved. And see the tree, how big it's grown. My friend, it hasn't been too long. It wasn't big. And I laughed at her and she got mad. The first day that she planted it was just a twig.
Release me and let me love again. Our steel guitar player comes from Round Rock, Texas, Jim Lawsburg. And I'll always want her near. Her lips are warm while yours are cold. Release me, darling, let me go. Strings, ladies and gentlemen. So please release me, let me go. I don't love you anymore. Together is a sin. Release me and let me love again. Release me and let me love again.
Tried so hard, my dear, to show that you're my every dream. Yet you're afraid each thing I do is just some evil scheme. A memory from your lonesome past keeps us so far apart. Why can't I free your doubt for mine and melt your cold, cold heart? Another
sad and blue. So now my heart is paying for things I didn't do. In anger, unkind words are said, they make the teardrops start. Why can't I free your doubt, oh mine, and melt your cold, cold heart? You'll never know how much it hurts to see you sit and cry. You know you need and want my love, yet you're afraid to try. Why do you run and hide from life? To try it just ain't smart. Why can't I free your doubt, oh mine, and melt your cold, cold heart? There was a time when I believed that you belonged to me, but now I know your heart is shackled to a memory. The more I learn to care for you, the more we drift apart. Why can't I free your doubt for mine and melt your cold, cold heart? Thank you very much. I'd like to do a song now about a man who got tired of his wife fighting with him all the time, so he wrote her a little song. It's called Long Gone Daddy. Well, all you wanna do is sit around and pout. Now I got enough and gal, I'm stepping out. Well, I'm leaving now. Leaving now. I'm leaving now. Leaving now. Lord, I'm a long gone daddy, I don't need you anyhow. I've been in the doghouse so doggone long. When I get a kiss, I think that something's wrong. Well, I'm leaving now. Leaving now. I'm leaving now. Leaving now. Lord, I'm a long gone daddy, I don't need you anyhow. Long gone daddy. I'll go find a gal that wants to treat me right. You go get yourself a man that wants to fight, 'cause I'm leaving now. Leaving now. I'm leaving now. Leaving now. Lord, I'm a long gone daddy, I don't need you anyhow. You set your jaws a wagging and you never stop. You never shut your mouth until I blow my top. Well, I'm leaving now. Leaving now. I'm leaving now. Leaving now. Lord, I'm a long gone daddy, I don't need you anyhow. Long gone daddy.
Turn me loose, Jim. Four walls to hear me. Four walls to see. Four walls to hear me. Closing on me. Here's one I didn't. Of course, it's been one of my favorites for a long time, ever since it sold about 12 million records. I was waltzing with my darling to the Tennessee waltz when an old friend I happened to see. I introduced him to my loved one, and while they were dancing, my friend stole
will have to go.
I'll do everything I can to make you proud to be my man.
And I'll fulfill all your fantasies.
I guess we're promising a lot, but for now it's all we've got. And I'll stand by you through our rocking years. Rocking chairs, rocking babies, rock-a-bye, rock-a-baby. Side by side, we'll be together always. And if you hold me tight when you love me, that's all I'll ask of you. I'll stand by you through our rocking years.
I'll be your friend
I'll be your lover,
until the end. There'll be no other.
and my heart has only room for one.
Yes, I'll always love you.
I'll always be here for you, and I'll stand by you through our rocking years. Rocking chairs, rocking babies, rock-a-bye, rock-a-babies. Side by side, we'll be together always. And if you hold me tight when you love me, that's all I'll ask of you. I'll stand by you through a rocking years. Rocking chairs, rocking babies, rock-a-bye, rock-a-babies. Side by side, we'll be together always. And yes, I'll always love you.
I'll always be here
I'll stand by you
through a rocking years.
Yes, I'll be here, and I'll stand by you
Through a rocking years. Through a rocking
Look at us after all these years together. Look at us after all that we've been through. Look at us still leaning on each other. And if you want to see how true love should be, then just look at us. Look at you, still pretty as a picture. Look at me, still crazy over you. Look at us still believing in forever. And if you want to see how true love should be, then just look at us. And in 100 years from now, I know without a doubt they'll all look back and wonder how we made it all work out. But chances are that we'll go down in history. When they want to see how true love should be, they'll just look at us. Play some country music over there, Maggie. Mike Johnson, y'all. Chances are we'll go down in history. And when they want to see how true love should be, they'll just look at us. And when they want to see how true love should be, they'll just look at us.
Galveston, oh Galveston, I still hear your sea winds blowing. I still see her dark eyes glowing. She was 21 when I left Galveston. Galveston, oh Galveston, I still hear your sea waves crashing, while I watch the cannons flashing. I clean my gun and dream of Galveston. I still see her standing by the water, standing there looking out to sea. And is she waiting there for me on the beach where we used to run? Galveston, oh Galveston, I am so afraid of dying. Before I dry the tears she's crying, before I watch your seabirds flying in the sun, at Galveston, at Galveston. Why'd you do me this way? Well, I never felt more like crying all night, 'cause everything's wrong and nothing ain't right.
without you. You got me singing the blues. The moon and stars no longer shine. The dream is gone I thought was mine. There's nothing left for me to do but cry over you. Well, I never felt more like running away, but why should it go? 'Cause I couldn't stay without you. You got me singing the blues. The moon and stars no longer shine. The dream is gone I thought was mine. There's nothing left for me to do but cry over you. Well, I never felt more like running away, but why should it go? 'Cause I couldn't stay without you. You got me singing the blues.
There ain't no chain strong enough to hold me, ain't no breeze big enough to slow me. I never have seen a river that's too wide. There ain't no jail tight enough to lock me, ain't no man big enough to stop me. I'll be there if you ever want me by your side. So love me if you're ever gonna love me. I never have seen a road too rough to ride. There ain't no chain strong enough to hold me, ain't no breeze big enough to slow me. I'll be there if you ever want me by your side. There ain't no rope stout enough to bind me. Look for me, honey, you will find me any old time. You're ready with your charm. I'll be here ready and awaiting. There won't be any hesitating. I'll be there if you ever want me in your arms. So love me if you're ever gonna love me. I never have seen a road too rough to ride. There ain't no chain strong enough to hold me, ain't no breeze big enough to slow me. I'll be there if you ever want me by your side.